everyone, welcome back to another video. Today, we are going to be taking a look at a suggested mod from one of our viewers. Now, today we are going to be looking at Ender's Cataclysm. Now, if you've never heard of this mod before, damn, you really need to try this out. If I'm going to be honest, this mod offers some of the best animations and quality of mods that I've ever seen, and that easily makes it one of my top 10 favorite mods. Anyways, enough talking, let's get into the video. This mod is obviously known for all of its bosses. One thing to note that a lot of these bosses are actually quite easy, but the only problem is they're quite tedious, meaning they have a lot of health or just being in an extremely annoying setting, which is the perfect example for this first boss. The Leviathan presides in a structure known as the Sunken City. Now this structure is substantially rare, slightly rarer than the Ocean Monument, but I gotta say it's a pretty impressive structure, so good job to all those developers who actually helped build it. On top of that, the inside is honestly beautiful with glow berries just like surrounding the sanctuaric middle, and inside actually has the Abyssal Altar. The Abyssal Altar is a block used to summon the Leviathan. So basically, you put an abyssal sacrifice into the teeth and it shall close and summon the Leviathan. In the Sunken City also contains a whole range of other mobs known as deeplings. Deeplings are armed with glaives and knives and will hunt the player if they wander into the wrong room. Now, it's not needed to go into this room not unless you want some extra loot. The deeplings also each have a 14% chance of dropping the weapons that are holding. They also drop a bit of coral. When the abyssal sacrifice is placed in between the abyssal altar's teeth, the mouth will in fact close like I said before and summon the Leviathan. Now, the Leviathan has many different attacks, some of its attacks being using its tentacles to attack the player, chomping the player alive as you can see literally right here, when the player gets eaten, they will get the darkness effect, so just be mindful of that. They also have a range of other attacks, such as using its tentacles, sonic blow, and summoning abyssal crystals that explode on impact. And because of the unnatural environment that you have to fight this thing in, it just makes it a whole lot 10 times harder, plus more intimidating. After defeating this enormous piece of salmon, it will drop a whole bunch of useful things, two to be exact. First drop is the Abyssal Claw. Now this thing basically allows you to do two abilities. Its first ability is using tentacles to grasp onto enemies and kill them. Pretty cool, right? Its second ability allows you to become Spider-Man and grip onto other distant objects so that you can swing towards them. The Leviathan is actually one of the harder bosses, considering its environment. And believe it or not, the Leviathan actually took inspiration from this mob during the mob vote. I'm not sure whether you guys noticed. The next boss on our list is honestly one of the easier bosses, but still quite tedious. This boss is known as the Harbinger. The Harbinger presides in a structure known as the Ancient Factory. You can awaken this thing using a nether star. Once putting it into its chest, it should blow up, and boom, you've got yourself an active Harbinger. This Wither on steroids has 3 different attacks. Actually no, 4. Its beam laser attack, its charge attack, its homing missile attack, and its individual lasers attack. When the mob is at half health, it will start to glow like a regular Wither, and basically its attacks will be a lot better. Like, by a lot, I mean a lot. Like, the charge attack would almost double the damage. So it can basically one-shot you with its charge if you're wearing full netherite armor. After killing this huge monstrosity, you get rewarded with 2 drops. A witherite block and a shoulder assault weapon, which is honestly my favorite drop. Shoulder assault weapon is probably one of my favorite ones because it can be upgraded pretty well. Now obviously you hold left click and you'll be able to shoot the same missiles that the Harbinger shoots. Pretty cool, right? Let's take a look at this. The second useful drop that the Harbinger drops is the witherite block, which can be crafted into witherite ingots, and after it's crafted into witherite ingots, it can be crafted into the weapon fusion anvil. You can use this anvil to upgrade your weapons, such as making the regular shoulder assault weapon into a void shoulder assault weapon. There's a small mini boss that you have to fight, and then the big boss upon coming to the nether. They both preside in a huge structure known as the Burning Arena. First, we'll take a trip to the Burning Arena so that we can talk about the first mini-boss, known as the Ignited Revenant. The Ignited Revenant has around 80 health points and has 3 attacks. Its Spinning Charge attack, its Spitting Fire attack, and its Syringe attack. Now, all of these attacks deal quite a bit of damage, but if you deal enough damage through the shields, you'll be able to kill it in no time. Now, before you say, oh, why do I even have to kill this? Well, you do, because you need to get the Burning Ashes, which you need to actually summon Ignis himself. Just look at this. Now, let's talk about the boss that truly steals the show here. His name, as you already know, is Ignis. To summon this beast, take the ashes that you got from the Ignited Revenant and put it into the Flame Altar. Upon doing so, it should make a little diamond on the floor, and boom, there's Ignis. He does have a range of 60 blocks, so don't try run, instead just fight him up front. Now, melee attacks are quite weak in this case. I'm using a buffed sword, and there you go, that's his first attack. He has 4 attacks. The Sword Swipe attack, which comes in 2 variations. The first variation being the Flame Sword attack, which just swings a sword and deals fire damage. The second one is just a regular sword swing, around the damage of a netherite sword. Then we have the Shield Charge. Same thing, basically 2 variations, the Flame Shield Charge and the non-Flame Shield Charge. Then we have the ranged attacks, which is the Sword Swing with fire that shoots a huge fire beam. And then we have the most powerful attack, which is called the Sword Stab. Now, it will impale a sword through your chest, as you could see multiple times before, and lift you up. Now, to free yourself early from this situation, shoot Ignis with a bow in the head. If not, then you can just wait it out and then eat a gapple after. There are also 2 really dangerous attacks that you have to look out for. The first attack being when he jumps straight into the air, slams down, and anything in a 10 block radius will deal slowness damage. Now, this basically makes it so that you can't move at all. That's how bad the slowness is, and he will have time to just strike you that way. Another really dangerous attack is when he swings his sword down and breaks the floor under you. Essentially what that does is under you, all there is just lava, so there's nothing really much to see down there. So don't try to go down there. When Ignis is down to half health, he will basically turn blue and all of his attacks is plus 25% damage. And I forgot to say earlier that this mod actually has a whole bunch of custom music for these bosses that are all copyright free. Upon defeating this boss, the boss will drop Ignitium Ingot. These Ignitium Ingots allow you to craft Ignitium armor, which both have different buffs. Now, the 2 final bosses that we will be looking at today are the Ender Golem and the Ender Guardians. They preside in a small maze-like structure called the Ruined Citadel. Although, one thing that you have to look out for are Ender Map Terrors. Now, these things get really annoying. They're a mix of endermites and spiders, so they're able to climb walls and attack like endermen. But upon killing them, they drop ender jaws, which basically are used to craft scattering arrows that deal damage. The mini boss is called the Ender Golem. Now, these things obviously took inspiration from the Redstone Golem, obviously from Minecraft Dungeon. Upon killing this thing, it drops Void Cores, which you can use to again upgrade your weapons, the shoulder assault weapon, like I said earlier. Or you could just summon spikes from the ground by right-clicking that object. And last but definitely not least, we have the Ender Guardian. This monster has many different attacks using its setting around itself. There are also a lot of trap blocks inside the arena which you fight this creature, so be careful. Its 3 attacks include its charge attack, its brute punching attack which also deals levitation damage, and obviously the same attack as the Ender Golem, its floor slamming attack which deals spike damage. Using its setting around itself, it can also summon gravity pillars, which if you're standing on it will trap the player, allowing it to strike you once more. There's also a whole bunch of other trap blocks, and it even summons Ender Map Terror from the ground. Killing this monstrous beast, it will drop the Gauntlet of God, which when used will draw your enemies in, allowing you to strike them with either the gauntlet or swapping to a different weapon to strike them. Because this is a mod that is not just client side, it also works on players. All weapons actually work on players, you just have to be aiming at them. Now obviously, as you can see guys, I've actually uploaded a whole bunch of modded videos, and I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that that's mainly what I'm going to be focusing on. But it's not just that. You see, I'm also going to be doing a whole bunch of other stuff like challenges, like maybe future 100 days videos, but mainly I've made up my own series which I'm going to be uploading probably next video, but we'll see, just so that I can give you guys a little bit of other content in case that you guys want something different. But otherwise, I really thank you guys for watching. Please like the video because it shows me that you appreciate my content. And also, if you have any other suggestions, please just say so in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next video. But I guess I'll see you then. Bye.